Hello, you guys. Come on in. I'm just getting ready. Per usual. Okay. Hi. Come on in, you guys. Okay, come say hi if you're joining us live. Happy July. Woohoo. So great. I love summer so much. I love everything about it. I love cooking in it. I love the sunshine. I love the whole vibe. I feel like I'm my happiest and best self in summer. How are you guys? Come on in. Okay, we've got some great recipes today. And I am also laughing, like doing these monthly is just a reminder of like real life to me. You know, I'm like 2 young kids. I try to plan all these things. We like get it on the calendar, get it all set. And I'm like cracking up because I'm like, okay, I just went to go pull out the kale because we're going to do a spicy kale salad today. And just the Instacart delivery just left it out. So, you know, we're going to make do with what we have. Don't worry. I've got an easy swap, but I'm like, you know, it's fine. This is probably what happens to you at home too. So we're just going to like show you how you can roll with that and use what you have on hand, right? That's really the name of the game. Okay. Hi, Sarah. So I'm so glad I could be here live. Behavior teachers on summer break. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So let's get right to it. Today, we're talking about a lot of like, it's fine. You can come in. Just Kyle, probably scrounging around the kitchen. I'm doing my cooking class. Want to come participate?
That's you.
It's like his nightmare. So today we're going to do the spicy kale Caesar, which I'm going to show you a nice swap because they did include iceberg lettuce because I was going to do also a wedge salad for us later this week. So we'll just use that instead. I'm going to do kind of like a chopped version of it. So it's actually a great easy swap if you want to do that at home. The same things happen to your order. And a way to make it not so spicy as well if you have like kids or other people that wouldn't love it spicy. But it's a great thing when you do make it with kale because it's one of those great make-ahead salads. So thinking like picnics, or you want to make something that's going to be great for lunch the next day, like dinner into lunch, or you want to make it at lunch for dinner. I love that type of recipe because it's just like you can make do with what you have, and using the time that you do have, you might as well prep a few things and then you don't have to worry about it later, so that not every meal has to be made like from scratch in that moment. So obviously my favorite version of that is still the pesto kale salad. That's a perfect one for this time of year if you've never made it in the first cookbook, but look up pesto kale salad in your dashboards and you'll find it. So this is just another version of that. If you love that style where it's like kale really does well with a dressing that can sit overnight and can do well like hours in advance, which makes it perfect, I think, for summer and adventures and picnics and just quick, healthy lunches. A great alternative if you don't like always feel like a smoothie every day. Those can be amazing. And then topping them with anything that you want. So if you have leftover grilled chicken, you can add avocado. You can do it with a slice of bread or toasted sourdough, or do homemade croutons as well. Lots of different options. And then depending again who you're feeding, it can really like go a lot of different ways. So we're going to do that today. Like I said, with this, we're going to do it with some chopped iceberg. Normally you would use kale and use the curly kale instead of the dinosaur or lacinato kale, which is more the Italian style. And that's a little bit thicker. I don't think it tastes as great for this style of salad. So this recipe is up in your dashboard. We're going to take a photo of it today, although I guess it won't be a photo of kale. I'll have to remake it later this week. And then second, I thought it'd be fun. We haven't done this yet for the summer. It's to do a fun, healthy cocktail. So there are tons of healthy cocktails and healthy mocktails in your dashboards, but I wanted to give you guys a new one to play with today. So we're going to do a mango mint margarita. It can also be done with, these are real fresh mangoes, can also be done with frozen mango cubes. So we'll talk through what that looks like. If you don't have fresh, you can use frozen. If you don't love mint, you can also leave it out. You could also swap it for jalapeno to do like a spicy mango margarita. And then last of all, if you don't love tequila or you are more in the mocktail thing, which I also love, or if you want to make it for kids too as like a slushie, you can do it without the alcohol completely, or you can also do this with vodka or with gin. So just, again, giving you the blueprint recipes, and then you can kind of swap in and out depending on your taste, your preferences, your likes, the things that you have, who you're making it for, that type of thing. So I always love that type of recipe, and all the recipes in the cooking club are hopefully that way. And I'm just trying to put as many suggestions and ideas as I can into the notes section above so that you can have some ideas of ways that you can make this your own and something that you really do love. So with the mango mint margarita, it's something that you can do two different ways. You could do on the rocks, or you can do it kind of blended slushy style. Again, you could also just turn this into like a mango slushy for kids, or more in a mocktail style of things. Okay, so lots of options. That sound good? Should we just get started? Yes. Okay, so both of these, yes, somebody was asking, are both of these up in the cooking club? And they are. They're both, don't have the pictures yet, but they are up there for you if you want to follow along the ingredient list. But I will read out loud exactly kind of what I'm doing for those of you who are taking notes. Okay, so let's start first with making the spicy kale Caesar dressing. I always like to do dressings just in a blender. I just find it quicker to put everything in and blend it for a few seconds. You can make this one in a bowl, like with a whisk instead, if you'd like to. So a blender is not necessarily necessary, but I just find it's easier. It makes it a little bit creamier, and then it stays together better. So if you do have any leftover, we'll probably have a little bit leftover using iceberg versus kale, then it makes it a lot easier to like save it for later because it actually emulsifies it better. So first ingredient, I'll read you all the ingredients. So normally will be 2 bunches of kale. We're going to do avocado mayo, lemon juice, Worcestershire sauce. So I'm using a gluten-free Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce is one of those random ones that does have gluten in it unless you get gluten-free. Olive oil, red wine vinegar, hot sauce, Dijon mustard, anchovy paste, and salt and pepper. So if you've ever made like the kale Caesar or a Caesar salad in general, you probably have Worcestershire sauce and anchovy paste on hand. So this has a lot of, like, again, pantry staples that probably most of you have. Okay, so we're going to start with 3 tablespoons first of avocado mayo. So this is what's going to give it this creaminess factor. And I used to hate mayo. Like, it was like one of those things, like growing up, I never liked it. I was always a mustard girl. And I think just like the thought of it, it was like a texture thing, the thought of it. I'm also the same way with like shellfish, like mussels. It's like just not my favorite thing. So for a long time, I really, really like avoided mayo. But then in the last like recent years, they've come out with an avocado mayo, and it's always had like canola oil and really bad oils in it for you. So it's not like I wasn't feeling like I was missing out on much. But now there's a few brands. Primal Kitchen is one. Chosen Foods is another that makes avocado mayo, which is a base in avocado oil. And then I can just even read you the ingredients. There's nothing weird. Avocado oil, water, egg yolks, whole eggs, distilled white vinegar, mustard, salt, and rosemary. So it does have eggs in it. There are like vegan versions if you are completely plant-based, but again, there's nothing weird, no bad oils, and it just feels like cleaner and nicer when you're eating it. So this is what's going to make it creamy. So we're doing 3 tablespoons of that. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. If I can open this. There we go. 1 tablespoon. So this is going to make, enough dressing for 2 bunches of kale. So I will definitely have leftovers on this today, which is great. I am into that, into this dressing. We're going to do 2. Okay, I just have to tell you guys, this is so funny. Like, what a random thing. Okay, but I just figured out that there are things as reusable paper towels, and I feel like this is a key thing for cooking, because sometimes, like I just did, if I have mayo and mustard on my hand and I wipe it with a towel, it's really gonna make the towel smell, and like you have to wash it right away. I found out these things just on Amazon, reusable paper towels. So you can use them to wipe stuff, like wash it up, dry it out later, and then reuse it again. And it's so thick that it doesn't hold a smell. So I'm really into this right now. I was like, wait, I gotta use this. I gotta show you. I gotta show you guys because you are like my cooking people. Really into that. I was so reminded by that. Still figuring out ways to use it. Okay, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of olive oil here. So this is just gonna thin it out a little bit. Right now, the mustard and mayo makes it pretty thick, which is also what's gonna give it kind of that creamy Caesar texture without tons of cheese. So just giving you alternatives. I think cheese is awesome, but sometimes you're cooking for people who are dairy free or just can't do cheese, or you don't do well with tons of it. That's kind of more where I am on that. I don't do well with tons of it. So if there is a quick, easy swap, I usually tend to take the swap. Okay, 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar. You can also use a lemon always in place of red wine vinegar, but it's usually the other way around. If you don't have a fresh lemon, you can use red wine vinegar. This recipe calls for both because I just think the taste is a little bit better with a little bit of each, but you can also fully swap the lemon for 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, or vice versa, a whole lemon instead. Okay, let me know if I'm being confusing. Okay, we've got that. Now we need this is the gluten-free Worcestershire sauce. So this is gonna be, let's see, 2 teaspoons. Looks like this. This up. And again, like this is like a little bit of it's almost like a molassesy texture. So it's going to add a little bit of like thickness to your dressing, but without feeling heavy. And it has a lot of like great flavor. I think this is one of the most underrated pantry staples you could probably have. Just brings like a lot of kind of like umami richness flavor. So it's going to be about 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. I'm eyeballing it because I cook so much. And about 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Then what else do we need? Oh, our hot sauce, which I pulled already. A tablespoon of the hot sauce right here. And again, you can do less than that if you just want a touch of it to be spicy. You could also use crushed pepper flakes instead, or leave it out completely if you want to do not a spicy kale Caesar and you just want to do a regular kale Caesar. This would kind of be the base of that. Okay, the last thing we need is just 1/2 a lemon. Where's my lemon? Here it is. So we're going to do 1/2 a lemon right here. And I was also laughing because we, I have a really beautiful juicer that I love and it works so well. And we put it away because it's like glass, and June's getting to the age where she's like crawling up and getting in dishes. And I'm like, no, I can't find it. So we're using our travel plastic juicer today. Not as pretty, will work just as well. So it's going to be 1/2 of a lemon here. Right here. And this one is actually nice because it catches the pulp. So it's great. It makes it great for cocktails. It's like a mini strainer in there too. Okay, so now I'm going to use a spatula just to kind of straighten down the sides a little bit so we get everything blended. Okay, cool. Any questions on this, you guys? So we're making the dressing first. And if you were doing the kale, as written by the recipe, you would wash the kale, you would remove the stems. I like to hold it from the bottom and remove the stems and then tear it into pieces and put it into a large bowl and then dry it with a paper towel. So again, I would probably use maybe like a reusable paper towel or a regular paper towel. You just want the leaves to be pretty dry before you add the dressing. Yes. How much anchovy paste? Lindsay, thank you. That's what I forgot. This is why I need you here. I need you guys here. Okay, 1 teaspoon of anchovy paste, okay? So yes, thank you, Lindsay. Where's my anchovy paste? Here it is. This is also a very underrated pantry staple. It also brings that like sort of umami flavor, like the salty, rich, savory flavor, and anchovies are so good for you. Like it's packed full of like omega-3 fatty acids, and it just is like kind of salty, but it's like very healthy for you. So I love using it in dressings. It's like kind of like a secret ingredient, and especially for even with like kids, it's pretty easy to like sneak into things and they don't really know anything, and it's great and healthy for them. Okay, Lindsay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to turn the blender on and we are going to blend this up. So, if you're like, no, I like to plug his ears. You know, it's not that loud. Somebody too was asking, this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see this. So pretty liquidy, but it's kind of a little bit on the thicker side, which is what we want. Somebody was asking too about other swaps if you don't want to do the hot sauce and do spicy. You could also try barbecue sauce or like crushed tomatoes. And that would be like, those would be really great options. They'll give it like, again, still keep the great flavor, but just not make it spicy. So you can definitely try that. I think both would taste, barbecue sauce would obviously just taste great. Primal Kitchen makes a great one too. I think they have it at Costco. Okay. So we've got our dressing here. I always like to rinse the blender right away. It makes it so much easier to clean. Okay, here's our spicy kale. So it smells really good. Really, really good. Okay, does that make sense? Yes. Okay, so we'll quickly prep the salad here. Another cutting board. Okay. Have you guys been cooking a lot or not that much? I feel like summer, it goes like either way for people. Like they're either doing it a lot and getting really into like salads and sides and grilling, and it's just so much fun. Or some people are like, no, I don't like to cook at all. Okay, so I'm doing there you go. So you can see it. So just cutting off the bottom. Again, this is going to be more of like a wedge Caesar. So you could do it almost just as like big wedges, and we could drizzle it over the top. For purposes, I guess we could do it that way. What do you guys think? Should we do it that way, wedges, or should we do like a full chopped salad? Tell me your votes. Okay, this is the great thing about, if you have a really good dressing, you can do so many things with this. This is also a great dressing for like a quinoa salad or any types of like deli salads. Could be a great marinade too, even for like chicken, if you wanted to do a chicken Caesar. Any votes? Should I just start shredding it? Maybe we could do like half and half, right? Okay. So I'm just going to cut this very thin. It's going to be kind of like a crunchy, refreshing Caesar. I feel like iceberg lettuce gets such a bad rap because it's not like as healthy as spinach or kale or any other one, but it's so good in the summer. It's so refreshing. Okay, we're going to cut it this way, and then we'll do like a quick, it's almost like a shredded. I love chopped salads, so this is going to work out great for me. Kyle's like scrounging around already for lunch, so we'll give him a nice little treat today. Okay. Okay, sorry, Sarah, I see you wedge it up now. There we go. Okay, so we'll just pour it a little bit over the top. This is definitely going to give me extra. If you were doing it as called for in the recipe with 2 heads of kale, you will use much more of it because, again, the kale holds a lot of the dressing. But you probably will have some extra too, which is nice. So you can make a batch and then you can like use the same dressing for later in the week with more kale. And then you have like a fresh version of it. Okay. There we go. Quick and easy. So good. I'm definitely going to add like avocado to that later. And I think we're going to do some grilled pesto chicken tonight. So that is a quick and easy way. And then again, yeah, if you wanted to do a wedge, perfect and super easy to do that too. We could even just, yeah, someone's saying, how do you cut for a wedge? So even chunks like this, depending how you want to have it plated. Like this. That. So something like this, and then you can kind of just drizzle it over the top with like a spoon would be so good, and some extra pepper, I think, on top. Okay, so spicy kale salad done. Okay, so let's move on to our margarita. Any questions on that? Pretty straightforward, simple, great. That's what we want. Quick and easy, right? Let me just get rid of this extra right here. Okay, so here we go. So now let's get into the fun part. Okay, so this is going to be about, we're going to have to measure this as we go because every mango is a little different. But if you're using fresh mango, again, I'll pull it so you can see, you're just going to want to like cut the skin off. This one's looking not so good. Let's try this one. Like this. Okay, and then you're gonna like almost like peel it down the sides, keeping as close to the skin as possible. Coming down like this. I know, it's sort of a random thing. Like, when would you really buy fresh mango? But they are on sale a lot this time of year in the summer. So it can be a great fun thing to just try if you want to do it fresh. If you're doing it like mocktail or slushy style, I think fresh is probably the best way to go. Let's see here. Okay, so, and sometimes they're a little like tricky to cut, but it's okay. This is like an act of patience. It's going to be worth it. You definitely want to try to get ripe mango if you can. And there's always going to be an area like this that is much easier to cut. And I just like to cut it flat. So we're going to put it into the blender right here. And then same thing on the other side. So the recipe calls for two. So I'm just going to be doing a half version of what you see. So normally it would be 2 mangoes, two, like 3 ounces. So 2 1.5 ounces of tequila. So 3 ounces total. So we're just going to make like a single serving today. So I can just show you exactly what it is. Okay. So we're going to do, normally would be, the ingredients are mango, tequila, limes, mint, if you'd like to use it, ice, if you want, well, either way, if you want to do it over the rocks, you need ice, or if you want to do slushy, you're going to put the ice into the blender itself. And we're going to blend it up. And usually in a margarita recipe, I use a little bit of like Cointreau to balance out the lime juice and all the acid. And I do a grape soda, but because the mango is so naturally sweet, you don't even need it. But it's not going to be overly sweet because we're really combining it with lime. It's kind of like a perfect blend. And if you have, you got lots of options here, but for this, you could also sort of strain it at the end because when we blend the mango, it will kind of be like a thicker texture, like a smoothie. If you want it to be more just like a mango juice, you could strain it and it would be like a little bit of a lighter thing. I, of course, chose a line that's not super right on the travel cocktail juicer. Okay, so 1 lime here. Pouring that in. And we're going to do our tequila. So usually like an ounce to 1.5 ounces. And I'm looking where this is hilarious. Oh, here it is. I'm like, I really just so rarely drink anymore that it's funny that I was like, where's that cocktail shaker? I don't even know. It's been a funny thing, I think, since having June. I just am not as into it. But when I do have it, I want to make it myself because then I know like exactly what's in it. I know it won't make me feel as bad if I know what's in it. Not going to be too sweet. Just it's like too much for my body right now. I'm just like more sensitive, but I would have this because this was delicious. Okay. And I've had this, I've tried this. So we got our tequila, lime juice. So 1 lime, 1.5 ounces of tequila, 1 mango. These are the proportions and ratio. We're going to do some club soda, ice, and then the mint. So if you're going to make it for 2 people, I said 5 leaves of mint. So, and I love mint. So we're going to do 3, kind of half. And then I'm going to save a little bit of the mint too for garnish. Okay, so we're going to go blend this up. Lots of mint leave on the side. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It's way too early for margarita, but it's good. So here we go. You can see it right there. Can you see it? I don't know. I'll pour it into a glass. But if you wanted to do, I just want to stop at this point to show you. If you want to do a blended style, you would add about 1 cup of ice into this and make it slushy. Can I see a vote? Do you want slushy or do we want over the rocks? If you do on the rocks, I would suggest using some club soda with it and filling it halfway and then pouring this over the top. We'll make it like a little bit lighter, a little bit effervescent, fizzy. I love a little bit of club soda in any cocktail, or we can try it slushy style. Anybody have a vote for me? You let me know. Anyone? Pledge? Slushy? Over ice? I'll get the glass if what do you guys think about it? Let's see. I'm gonna get our ice too while we're over here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go. Got the ice. It's okay. Kind of like back. I was like, well, it's okay. Okay, let's do it over the rocks, right? Might as well. Here we go. So to do it over the rocks, I would say it's going to be about 1/2 cup of the sparkling. And then we will pour, can't see, sorry. I always need to like put more cutting boards than I think. Here we go. So you can see this. Okay, so this is going to go over the top. It's just this like beautiful color and it smells so good. And again, if you wanted to do this without the tequila, you absolutely can. This would make like a great adult popsicle or a slushie. We'll get the little sprig here, and I'm just gonna stir it up. It honestly smells so good. It smells like a candle. So right here, and then we would do this, and then probably a little like wedge or peel of the lime, just for color. Like that. Okay. I'm not going to sample it right now, but I've had it before and it's so good and it's so pretty. Yeah. So you can try this. This is also a great base if you want to try it with other fruits, if you like. I know a lot of people will have like cherries in season or blackberries or things like that. If you have like a seedy fruit, you probably will want to strain it before you blend it, but it's just kind of a fun combo to try. Yeah. Okay. Any questions on either one? And we'll load the pictures in so you guys have them soon. But these are two just super quick, super easy, really summery, fresh, seasonal. You'll feel really good when you have that. I just always want you to feel more vibrant and alive and kind of just like, this sounds so woo-woo, but just raising your vibration with the things that you eat and consume and surround yourself with. And these things are a perfect example of that you feel really good. It also kind of engages all of your senses as you're eating because the smell and the textures, and they just have like a lot going on, even though they are very relatively simple to make. And starting with fresh food, you really don't have to do as much to like cover things up. Like you can start with things that are so simple, like a fresh mango, and this will be like the best margarita you've had all summer. It doesn't even compare to what you would get out. And so just kind of playing with those things, like helping it work for yourself better, that any amount of time that you do put into your food, you are kind of pouring that investment into yourself, because then it makes you able to just pour out to the world, into your people, into your work, into your passions and the things that you want to do in life. So just a reminder too, I know some people go either way in summer, where it's either they're cooking a lot and they're loving it and just like fully immersed in the season, and it's about pleasure and joy and savoring and really just like taking advantage of everything and the weather and being outside and seeing friends and other people. Or it can be a time where people feel like they have too many commitments, that they're stressed, that they don't have time to cook, or that they're too busy and they're always on the run. So there is a happy balance, a happy medium. And I think keeping things easy on yourself and using foods that kind of remind you to come back to your center and come back to yourself and your body and treating yourself well. I think there is a balance, right? In a middle ground. And that's what this is really all about at the end of the day, is like taking the time to take care of yourself, even if it's 5 minutes here to whip up a quick salad or make a homemade salad dressing that you can use the rest of the week, or choosing things like intentionally, if you're going to have something like a cocktail, that you make it with love and you make it with things that are pure and real and that your body can digest. So just hoping that this gives you some kind of inspiration this time of year to really like stick with it, because you are worth it. You are so, so worth it. And that's what this is about at the end of the day. I can't help but like slide those things in, because that is really what it's all about, is treating yourself well. And the more you do that, I think the more you just have to give to others and to all the things that matter to you. So that's what I hope for you this month. Let me know if you guys make this. If you try or find any fun additions, we'd always love to know, because I can always add them into the notes section for other people. So let us know. I love you guys so much. I hope this was helpful to see, and we'll get some kale going on up in here next time. But I do love it. Just the real life version. Like, this is really what it's all about, right? Yes. So thank you for being here. If you guys are watching this live, and if you're watching the replay, just sending you all the love in the world. Bye, you guys.